he was teaching, I think, maybe at Wat Pananachat, or they went to Wat Pabantat. And it was really refreshing when he said something, oh, people, and I apologize in case I don't quote it correctly, but he was saying something like, you know, people say, oh, in Buddhism there's no self, no ego, nothing. But actually there's plenty of ego. They come up and they go up and they anicca dukkha anatta. You know, like the rest of this, the thought that has a whole history clung to it, you know. So, but in the end, I say that's all you have to understand your mind, to know the kilesa. Who has a kilesa? I mean, the Buddha says, we're here to see the kilesa and let them go. We're here to, you know, to understand dukkha and the end of dukkha. Who has dukkha? Comes and goes. You know, the person, the self that I'm presenting to you is not the same that I have in my room or with my sisters, my blood sisters, with the dogs. I mean, I don't become Ajahn Sundara, you know, with a doggy, with all the lovely dogs of Alpan family, yeah. And so you have different thoughts come up that, you know, you remember. It's not even a thought, it's just mindfulness, remembering where I am, what I'm wearing, what I represent, what I'm going to do, etc. Just taking stock of a situation, inwards and outwardly. You know whether you're not feeling well, you know whether your mind is kind of has a headache or not, you know whether you feel cold or hot, you know whether you're in a bad mood or good mood. All of us can know that. Don't have to make it into an ego, a self. Okay? He says it is non-self. Sorry, it's not self. Yeah? Not no self. Not self. Right? Because the form is not self. If there were self, then the form would not lead to affliction. And one might be able to say, in regard to form, let form be thus. So let's say you have straight hair and you like curls. Okay? Just in case. Alright? And it rains on the day. You just came out of the hairdresser and it rains heavily and you get your straight hair again that you don't like. So if you had really a self, according to the Buddha, the way he described it, you'll see curl back instantly, and technically maybe you could do it, but no way. Nature is taking over, you know. The Dhamma of your hair is taking over the way it is. Your hair is straight when you're born and it stays straight the rest of your life. Curled when you're born, unless you go to the hairdresser and do a lot of work to keep changing the Dhamma of your hair. And the same thing applies. So let my form be thus. Some people don't like their body, themselves, you know. Can I be fat? I'm too thin. Can I be thin? I'm too fat. I'm talking to the ladies, I don't know about the men, but okay, short, tall, big nose, long nose, small nose, little pointed nose, superb American look. Yeah, USC, green. Yeah, old teeth green. Don't like that. I want to have superb. So we can't change. The Dharma is like that. We can change it artificially, of course, you know. But, you know, it takes a lot of money to change things artificially, you noticed. So, the Buddha continues, but since bhikkhus, form is not self, form therefore leads to affliction. It's up to you to find out what this self means, really. What does it mean? If there was not, for example, if we didn't have the ability to think, you know, I think I should meditate today. And something in us say, oh yes, but I can't, it's too late, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. You know, which self is there? And which self? There's two selves, you know, fighting each other. So I think that will be the case for a long, long time, do you understand? Even when you see through self, even when you see the misery is that we think we are in charge, do you understand? no matter how much intention you put into something, I will not eat cakes anymore for at least 2 days. Not a big time, is it? Still, the self that has some terrifically more important agenda comes up and say, well, why not? Why do you have to torture yourself? You know, sugar is really nice. Especially we have no distraction, you know, right now. So another cake, why not another cake, you know? You know, why do you think I call the liar, the mind, a sweet liar? Because I've had many experiences of that, you know. When I used to, in the early years when I was an anagārikā, and I was cooking in the kitchen, okay, and I was kind of going on pin-pat, and I would have made probably a kind of adhitthana, you know, determination not to eat certain things. And so I remember going around, and there was a pizza, yeah, and I said no to pizza, no. And there was a voice that used to come behind that and say, oh, but that might be the last one. With all this deaths I've been doing, maybe you could die next day. Literally, I mean, of course, these thoughts don't come up anymore for quite a long time, fortunately. But I'm amazed by the capacity of the mind to really distort reality and to fool us all the time. It fools us. But we don't have to make fooling us a nasty game that the mind plays with us. That's all it knows until you train it. Do you understand? The usefulness of training a mind is that it's a really great trickster. I'm sure you have a word for that in Hindi. A great trickster. How do you say that, Mr. Dao?
Chalbaz, there's a word for that.
Chalbaz. Right. He can really, really deceive you for a long time. In fact, everything is a kind of deception at some level, because nothing. The Buddha says, I wish I could have a better memory to remember those lovely teachings on. Basically, the gist of it is that everything is always other than what you think. Do you know that famous passage? Eh?
Yeah.
Things are constantly changing. So what we see, we think is the truth, but actually things are constantly moving. And with, of course, the discovery of science, we know that it's all kind of vibrating. You know, it's all moving constantly, energy. Okay, we're a bundle of energy. And we take ourselves seriously, don't we? Like a solid me, yeah. I'm not the same as probably you think. I'm not like Tipti. And Tipti thinks she's not like this lady. Right? We get a sense of self very strong, don't we? Somebody step on your toes. You don't mind somebody else stepping on somebody else's toes, you don't feel anything. But if tap on your toes, on your new shoes, particularly on your new high heel shoes, and crush that pointed bit there, oh, what a terrible thing. You know, so we go to war with things because they're mine. And when we come to the point where we realize, you know, that was the Buddha, that's one of the reasons I think was the Buddha put generosity at the bottom of the paramita. Do you remember? Dana, Sila, Metta, I think Metta, I don't know if it is the next one, but Dana, Sila, remember? Generosity. Because if you're not generous, you keep walking the path of misery, right? You're always protecting what you have. You're always kind of holding back. You're always sort of, and many of us don't even know we're not generous. You know, it takes an awakening, kind of awakening, to know that we've lived a life of, meanness. Not very mean, you know, just natural meanness that most people possess, you know. So, and the Buddha goes on, you know, about this. That's why it's a good question you ask, because it's an important topic. So the same with mental formations. That's a big one. What we think. Oh, That's a nasty truth that the Buddha gives us, whatever you think is not yours. Where do I go from there? But not yours doesn't mean you have to depossess yourself from it. It doesn't mean you have to cut it off from your life. It's just an invitation to revisit the whole world of my thinking. How do I think? Is my thinking based in Dhamma, or is my thinking based in my views and opinions? And my father, who went to very good schools, I remember, I used to say to him, we talked about Buddhism and so on. Of course, he never made much about Buddhism until he listened or he read a book of a famous, gosh, I should never start on this thing because I don't remember the name, but a famous anthropologist. And at the end, there was an eulogy of Buddhism written at the end of the book. And it impressed my father. He was kind of not religious. He'd been to boarding school and Catholic school and so on, so he kind of rejected all that. Be like a free mind spirit, And when he, I have to connect with my thought. Talking? Yeah. So when we kind of look at our views and opinions about ourselves, you begin to see a lot of prejudices, a lot of views that have been inculcated by people external to us. We haven't had the world that we really wish to have, because very often we have limited view and inculcated in ourselves. So you have to be very careful. Even in the teaching, you still have teachers of all kinds of teachers, different, topics and so on, who also have kind of inculcated limited views in people's mind, So we have to be very careful. And that the Buddha invites us not to kind of reject everything we have thought when speaking about mental formations, being not self. It's not a rejection of our world of thought and mental construct. It's an invitation to revisit this world with mindfulness. It's called the torch of mindfulness, the brightness of mindfulness, which means you might see more clearly whether you are attached to your thinking, to your feeling, to your ideas, to your view, to your opinions, and so on. They're not wrong in themselves, but attached to, they are the seeds of war. Do you understand? And anger. Right? If somebody is not in agreement with me, then it must be wrong. I'm not angry with you, I'm just right and you're wrong. That's a kind of common, the common response in our mind. And then consciousness. Can you imagine consciousness is not self? Well, I think we talk about that another time. It's a big topic. Basically, we're in a world that doesn't belong to us. Do you understand? Even our consciousness is not self, not me, not mind. That's why it's good to have a clear path, isn't it? To keep holding on to this life in a skillful way. Not holding on to life, but be guided by skillful standard and skillful means and so on. So it's not a rejection of human life in any form, in any shape and ways. It's just an invitation to start to look at life from a point of view of wisdom, from understanding the way things are, for knowing, seeing, in a good way, in a skillful way. Right thought, remember, on the Noble Eightfold Path, is about, renunciation, non-harming, and what is the other word in English? and non-harming on a physical level and not harming on a mental level. What is the other one? Harming and... I know it's...
Nekama?
Well, nekama is renunciation.
And avihimsa and avyapada.
That's right. So, renunciation, non-harming physically and non-harming mentally, right? So you have already a guidance even there. What do you have to renounce? This is an invitation to let go. Let go is another word for renunciation. Why do you let go, let go, let go, and spend retreats after retreats, letting go of this, letting go of that? If somebody called it renunciation, you might not be so interested. Letting go is kind of more, has less duty feeling about it. Let go. Feels good, doesn't it? Renounce. Not sure I would like that so much. Blah, blah, blah. We can think like that. So, pahana, isn't it? Yeah? Letting go. So, as I said, it's not a rejection. It's just, can we live more wisely now? Not just for this life. We don't have to believe in future life. But just out of compassion for the mind, we don't know what happened to the mind afterwards, No idea. But right now it's carrying on, so let's talk about this life first, I like the first tradition because when Ajahn Sundara was questioned by people about next life or past life and so on, he used to say bluntly, with my apology if I don't quote it absolutely perfectly, but basically, in one way we say the last breath is your last life and the next breath is your next life, or the last moment, is the last life and what happened next is your next life. So that brings the whole Dhamma in the here and now, doesn't it? Rather than to proliferate about what happened to the Arahant or what happened to that person or that person, You can proliferate. People writes entire theses on the, after death, before death. It can get really interested. I read some of those books, some of the study, past life, future life, and so on. But that doesn't help me much right now. I could die tomorrow. Do I have time to read all these things and actually not be in the present and conscious of the skillfulness, my past life, next moment, my future life, next moment. Like many wise teachers will say, what's happened now is not going to be so different what happened next, Do you understand? So you be prepared. What are you doing now? Yeah? That should motivate enough people to really be wise and careful, shouldn't it? Don't imagine you're going to be born a god because you're doing this and that, and you accumulate goodness and so on. Be careful. The state of mind is what's important, moment by moment. But also never to forget the goodness of our life, never to forget the good things we've done in this life. Because sometimes we can get obsessed with all the, all the nasty, all what we think is nasty in our life, Okay? We can, I don't know about you Indians, I have no idea, but Westerners can be really quite obsessed with their traumas and their misery and their, all the wrong things they've done and so on, all the terrible things they think they've done, so they feel guilty all the time. Instead of putting some attention about the blessings of their life. It's hard work for people who are negative and tend to kind of dwell on the negative aspect of life. They keep recreating in their mind negative reality. Do you understand? Are we going to nourish our mind with something that actually nourishing? Can we remember the blessings of our life, the goodness of our life, the goodness of my parents, the goodness of so many things around us, which is so good. But we easily ignore them, don't we? So it's a training, it's not something that happened by itself. You need again and again to wake up and to start thinking in accord with Dhamma. You don't have to believe what you think or believe that Dhamma is going to do it. It simply means what is really helpful right now. How am I going to live in a way that's going to bring a good mind rather than a mind that's kind of constantly feeling miserable and pitiful and feeling sorry for themselves or herself, himself, That doesn't work. You just have to get up and go and start. What do I need to do? Be creative with these things, Don't wait for God to help you. It might help you because God might just be another voice. It's just words. Fortunately, I never had to tackle this kind of dilemma, is there a God, is there no God, because I wasn't brought up as a Christian, or as any within any theistic path, so it's more like a free spirit. I was so fed up with the free spirit, I was hoping to, if I was going to marry anybody, somebody deadly straight. Probably you don't have this problem, maybe in India, I don't know, but somebody really boring compared to all the interesting side I had in my life, in a way, openness of things, open. So, we're nearly to 15 now, and then we're going to let Mr. Da, who kindly and generously...
Can we have a last question, please?
Pardon me? Well, we want first of all the translation. That's what I've been asked, that people will like to have a translation.
This question was that you had mentioned that anicca dukkha will automatically lead to anatta, or is there a process and how do we proceed further? So Ajahn asked us whether you read the book of Ajahn Sumedho of intuitive awareness or insight, which is direct seeing, which comes from silence. It says that I have to translate.
That can be edited, can't it? Yeah? Do you want to go back in Hindi?
I'll do that.
Okay.
Because it became too long, so प्रश्न था कि क्या अनिच्छा दुख से अनथा ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाता है या कुछ उसके लिए करने की आवश्यकता है? तो अजान ने कहा कि पूछा कि आप लोगों ने वो पुस्तक पढ़ी है इंट्यूटिव अवेयरनेस की, अजान सुमेधो की, तो उसमें जैसे वो समझाते हैं कि इनसाइट जो है वो डायरेक्ट सीइंग से आती है, देखने से, और वो चित्त जब शांत होता है तो अपने आप आने की संभावना बढ़ जाती है। और अधिकतर समय में देखा गया है कि जहाँ अगर हम एक्सपेक्ट करने लगे कि ऐसा करने से ऐसा होगा, तो ऐसा होता नहीं है। कभी इनसाइट जो है वो अनएक्सपेक्टेड सिचुएशन से भी अराइज हो सकती हैं। जहाँ तक अनंतता का बात है वो परिधि के लेवल पे समझना, पढ़ के समझ सकते हैं, और उसकी पुस्तकें उपलब्ध हैं, कई टीचिंग्स भी उपलब्ध हैं, लेकिन वो एक्चुअली अपने अनुभव के आधार पे जो समझेंगे तो बात अपनी हृदयंगम होती है। कि पहली बात तो ये है कि हम अब लैक ऑफ कंट्रोल को ठीक से समझें कि हमारा इस जीवन पे, अपने मन की स्थितियों पे कोई वश नहीं चलता, वो अपने आप मन अपने परिस्थितियों और कंडीशंस के हिसाब से चलता रहता है। और शायद हमारा क्योंकि अपने मन पे, शरीर पे आधिपत्य नहीं है, शायद इसी का अर्थ भगवान बुद्ध ने कहा था कि मैं मेरा नहीं है, मैं मेरा नहीं है। तो ये बात हमको बार बार अपने को याद दिलानी पड़ती है कि ऐसा नहीं कि एक बार से हो जाएगा, बार बार याद दिलाएंगे, जब जब भूलेंगे तो उसको फिर याद दिलाएंगे। तो इस तरह से ये अंतर्दृष्टि प्रतिष्ठित होती है। हमें छोटी छोटी बातों के प्रति भी हमारा मैं और मेरे का भाव रहता है, ये मेरी पेंसिल है, ये मेरा टीवी है, और कोई ले जाए तो कितनी परेशानी होती है। तो वो उन छोटी छोटी बातों के ऊपर भी अगर हम इस बात को याद रखें कि ये मैं नहीं हूँ, ये मेरा नहीं है, तो धीरे धीरे मैं और मेरे का भाव कम होने लगता है। तो अपना एक अनुभव बता रही थी कि जब मैं रिट्रीट की थी तो बहुत मन रेडियंट फीलिंग था, बहुत मन प्रसन्न था, प्रफुल्लित मन था, और लेकिन धीरे धीरे वो कम होने लगा। लेकिन जब किसी मित्र से बात कर रहे थे तो फिर वैसा होने लगा। तो उनको मालूम पड़ा कि मैं कोशिश कर रही हूँ कि ताकि मैं मुझे खुद को महसूस हो कि मेरा मन प्रफुल्लित है। तो इस तरह से हम कोशिश करते हैं ताकि हम दूसरे के सामने एक अच्छा भाव खड़ा हो, तो वो मैं का भाव जो है सब स्पष्ट समझ आता है, कैसे मैं अपने आप को अच्छी तरह प्रेजेंट करना चाहता हूँ या चाहती हूँ, तो उससे मैं के भाव के बारे में मालूम ज्ञात होता है हमें। तो अजान बता रहे थे कि अनंत लक्षण सूत्र जो है वो भगवान ने इसीलिए उपदेश दिया था ताकि हम उसको ठीक से देख सकें। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि भगवान ये हमें कह रहे हैं कि आप ईगो को डिस्ट्रॉय करिए, ईगो नहीं है, वो ये नो सेल्फ की बात नहीं कर रहे, नॉट सेल्फ की बात है कि ये जो 5 खंड है वो मैं नहीं हूँ, उसमें वो ये कोई ऐसा डिक्लेरेशन नहीं कर रहे कि कोई कुछ नहीं है। तो उदाहरण के लिए बता रही थी कि अजान पन्यावादो जो अजान महापुरा के प्रमुख शिष्य थे, अंग्रेज मॉन्क थे, उनके वो वाटपनाचात में टॉक्स दे रहे थे, तो भी वो भी यही बात समझा रहे थे कि किस तरह से हम इस बात को स्पष्ट रखें कि ये नो सेल्फ की टीचिंग नहीं, नॉट सेल्फ की टीचिंग है। क्यों कैसे कर रहे हैं कि अब आप जब भगवान की शिक्षा पढ़ते हैं, वो पूछते हैं कि ये क्लेश किसके हैं, ये दुख किसका है, तो बताते हैं कि ये प्रश्न ही ठीक नहीं है, और ये उस बात को इंगित करते हैं कि कोई आदमी कोई प्राणी नहीं है जिसके वो क्लेश है, या कोई प्राणी नहीं है जिसको वो दुख है, ये एक अनुभव हो रहा है, उस स्तर तक हमको इसको समझना होगा। और जैसे हम अपना एक आइडेंटिटी बना लेते हैं, तो अगर हम अपनी बहन के साथ या अपने भाई के साथ या अपने पालतू पशुओं के साथ हैं, तो हमारी आइडेंटिटी हर समय बदलती रहती है। तो इस बात का भी जब हम ध्यान इस बात की ओर देंगे तो अहम का भाव कम होने लगेगा। तो वही बात उन्होंने फिर दोबारा दोहराई थी कि 5 खंड मैं नहीं हूँ। वो जैसे उन्होंने फिर अनंत लक्षण सूत्र से फॉर्म इज नॉट माई सेल्फ, ये जो रूप है वो मैं नहीं हूँ, वो दिखाया कि किस तरह से हम कोशिश करते हैं रूप को बदलने की, बालों को बदलने के उदाहरण से उन्होंने समझाने का प्रयास किया कि हम एक तरह का रूप हमारा लिखे, हमारा शरीर ऐसा दिखे, हमारे बाल ऐसे दिखे, लेकिन वो आर्टिफिशियली कोशिश भी करते हैं तो वो उसका अपना धर्म नहीं है, वो एक हम बनावटी उसको कोशिश करते हैं बनाने की, और वो स्थिर नहीं रहता, वो बदलता रहता है। तो क्योंकि वो बदलाव अपने आप हो रहा है, तो इसको हमको समझना चाहिए कि मेरा उस पर कोई आधिपत्य नहीं है, कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है, और इसी तरह से हम अनात्म बोध की ओर बढ़ सकते हैं। मन के बारे में वो बार बार बता रही थी कि मन जो है बहुत ट्रिक्स्टर है, एक चालबाज है, कि हमको भ्रम में रखने की कोशिश करता है, और हम हमेशा एक तरह के भ्रम में रहते हैं कि ये शरीर मेरा है, ये मैं ऐसा ऐसा कर सकता हूँ, कोई एक है प्राणी और कुछ नहीं, तो इल्यूजन तो कम से कम मेरा ही है। तो ये जो भाव है ये बार बार अभ्यास करने से ही कम होगा। फिर दूसरा जो खंड था, उन्होंने संखार की बात की कि जो मेंटल फॉर्मेशंस हैं वो हमको इतना घेर के रखते हैं कि वो तो लगता है ये मेरी आदतें हैं, ये मेरे संस्कार हैं। तो उसको भी हमको ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें उन सारे संस्कारों को समाप्त करना है, लेकिन उनको जानना है, और उनको जानने से कि किस तरह से मैं वो संस्कार मेरे पैदा हुए, किस तरह से मेरे विचार बनते हैं, किस तरह से वो कंडीशन से अराइज होते हैं, परिस्थितियों के हिसाब से विचार बनते हैं। तो जब हम उस बात को ठीक से समझते हैं और देखते हैं कि जो टीचिंग भी है हमारे, जैसे बहुत अलग अलग टीचर्स आते हैं, उनका हर एक का पढ़ाने का समझाने का तरीका अलग होता है, क्योंकि उन सब के जो पास्ट इनकलकेट्स वैल्यू इनकलकेशन थी, पास्ट टीचर्स से जिनसे उनका रिलेशनशिप बना वो भिन्न थे। तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हम एक थॉट को रिजेक्ट करें, दूसरों को एक्सेप्ट करें, बट आइडिया ये है कि हम उसमें इतना ओपन रस रहे कि हम उसको वी शुड रिविजिट देम एंड विद द माइंडफुलनेस, सती के साथ उनको देखें और समझें कि उसमें क्या बात हमारे को ठीक से लगती है। क्योंकि जहाँ भी हम अटैच हो जाएंगे, शायद विचारों से हो, दिट्ठी से हो, विचार या अपने शरीर से हो, कई बार हम अपने संस्कारों से अटैच हो जाते हैं, तो देखते हैं कि जहाँ भी अटैच होंगे वहाँ पे भी हमारे जो देश के भाव हैं वो सामने आ जाने लगते हैं। और बार बार ये बात आती है कि जो मेरा विचार करने का तरीका है वो तो ठीक है, जो दूसरे का तरीका है वो गलत है। तो ये आई एम राइट यू आर रॉन्ग वाला जो एटीट्यूड है, ये अगर हम उसको पेनिट्रेट कर सकें, देख सकें कि ये भी एक संखार को अपना मानने के कारण होता है, अगर हम समझ जाएं ठीक कि ये बदलता रहता है तो धीरे धीरे उससे उस आत्मभाव से कमी हो सकती है। फिर आपने कहा कॉन्शियसनेस के बारे में, तो उन्होंने कहा कि ये कॉन्शियसनेस भी मैं नहीं हूँ, तो ये तो बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण बात है जिसको शायद और डिटेल में कभी समझाने की कोशिश होगी, ताकि हम उसका बेसिक मुख्य तात्पर्य ये है कि हम जीवन को एक प्रज्ञा के हिसाब से देखें, और जो उसका एक आयाम है प्रज्ञा का सम्मा संकल्प राइट थॉट का, उसके बारे में बताया कि हम जब कहते हैं रेनंसिएशन और उसको उसी बात को लेट गो के रूप में करते हैं, तो हमारे शब्दों के हालांकि उनका दोनों का तात्पर्य एक ही है, शब्दों को बदलने से ही वो बात थोड़ी लगता है आसान बनने लगती है। तो ये जो कॉन्शियसनेस जो विज्ञान है वो मैं नहीं हूँ, उसको समझने के लिए शायद हमको और आवश्यकता समय की आवश्यकता होगी, तो वो आगे उस पर चर्चा करेंगे। और इसी संदर्भ में उन्होंने कहा कि जो ये बात का हमें कई बार प्रश्न आता है अगले जन्म का, पिछले जन्म का, तो अजान शाह उसके बारे में कहा करते थे कि जो पिछला सांस आपका गया वो पिछला जन्म था, जो अगला सांस आएगा वो अगला जन्म है। क्योंकि इस तरह के चिंतन करने से कोई हमें मदद नहीं मिलती, हमको पच्चूपन्ना धम्मा प्रेजेंट में जीने की आदत रखनी चाहिए। तो और हम देखते रहते हैं कैसे परिस्थिति बदलती रहती है, तो वो परिस्थितियों के बदलाव से ही हमको संस्कारों के प्रति भी जो आत्म चिपकाव है वो कम होने की कोशिश होती है। और इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं कि हम संस्कारों को समाप्त करने की कोशिश करेंगे, और बट ये मतलब है कि हम प्रज्ञावान बनेंगे और सत्यवान बनेंगे। और एक बात उन्होंने बताई, जैसे कि पश्चिम में पाश्चात्य देशों में लोगों का अपनी कमियों से बहुत, अपने जो संस्कार हैं जो उनके कमियां हैं, जो उनके ट्रॉमास हैं, जो गिल्ट है, उसके प्रति बड़ा अटैचमेंट रहता है, और इस कारण से वो हमेशा दुखी रहते हैं कि वो पुरानी अपनी बातों पे ही ड्वेल करते रहते हैं, उन्हीं के ऊपर चिंतन करते रहते हैं। तो हमको विचार करना चाहिए कि क्या हम इस तरह की बातों को अपना भोजन बनाएंगे मन का, क्या हम अपने मन को नरिश करेंगे अच्छी अच्छाइयों से, क्योंकि हर प्राणी ने कुछ ना कुछ अच्छे जरूर काम किए होते हैं, दान दी, शील का, भावना का। तो अगर हम उनके ऊपर ध्यान देंगे तो उससे मन प्रसन्न होता है, और वो एक हमारे को आगे अच्छाई की ओर ले जाने की कोशिश करता है। अपने बारे में हमेशा फीलिंग सॉरी फॉर आवर सेल्फ कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ, मेरे को ये ट्रॉमा हुए, वो किसी तरह से भी हमको मदद नहीं करता है। फंडामेंटली इन समरी ये कहा गया।
I start teaching, when I'm in France, I start teaching in English. For short, 1 minute or so. Well, I think we're well past the time of our question time. We can keep that for next break of question time. And I think it's walking meditation now, isn't it? So, are you enjoying walking meditation, by the way?
Yes.
Yes? I mean, for me, I have to adjust. Yes, huh? That means yes. Yeah? Okay. Because it could be well, not sure. Well, that's not sure. So, please, I'll be interested in your insight later on, during the week, after you. Don't get into the inside mode, you see. Kind of hang on to, what is she going to ask us, how many insights I have to have, before Ajahn Sundara asks me. Oh my God, that's the end of it, You should be like, you might get what my teacher, Ajahn when Amaravati Monastery, just before as we started the Pansa, I remember, he said something about, he was asking us how many hours per night we slept. So that set up the immediate things, about. It's not, you don't call it even competitiveness. It's not that form as competitiveness, but it's like, you don't call it even as I'm going to be the best, or I'm going to be as good as the best, but there's a kind of something in us that comes, and so, it's okay, you've done it, now, so don't bother. No. So don't worry, you might have all the insight, but insight too is anicca dukkha anatta. I had lots of insight, and at some point I was saying, my God, because your mind get really interested in on the inside. You know, it's funny. Your mind is definitely not yours. I don't want to be interested in the inside, but it keeps clinging, you know, to that, you know, what it did and how. Not now. I mean, you know, I've got bored with it really long time ago and finished. You know, because inside doesn't manifest in the same way. You know, but be careful to get fascinated by your realization. Right? Just drop them straight away. You know. No, more come, don't worry. More Dhamma will come. Yeah? The more you accumulate, the less they come. Because it's crowded. Too crowded.